Welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails from Zero, where we, last time investigated the threat letter to Archon Ciel and then got called off a case by the First Division because we are plain outmatched. Oh, hello, Ren. Oh, we have met before, correct? Yeah, we have. Back at the doll studio. It's been a while. Your name was Ren, right? Correct. I believe it's been about a month since we last saw each other. And you know, it's very impolite to have to double check what a lady's name is. I should think that any true gentleman would know how to greet a lady properly by their second encounter. You're right. Sorry, Ren. Stern little girl, ain't she? You look like you're alone. Did you take the bus to come looking around the city? Yes, something like that. You see, I enjoy visiting the antique shop by myself every so often. They occasionally put Grandpa York's dolls on display and oh, they have the absolute cutest stuffed animals. They do? Huh? Still, I don't think it's the best idea for a girl your age to be wandering around this part of town alone. Let me assure you, it's perfectly safe. After all, what's there to be afraid of? The barkers and hostesses are also very nice. And those men in the back wearing all the black glasses never fail to make me laugh. That's okay. I might be even more worried now. Oh, that reminds me. Did you have fun playing hide and seek with the wolves? It looked as though you had quite a few unexpected guests show up at the last second too. Come again? Did you get all that from reading the Crossbill Times article about the case? Sure, let's go with that. Yeah, we could see in the cutscene that she was watching us. You befriended the wolf, correct? If you could, I would love for you to introduce me to him sometime. Sure, we'd love to. Mysterious as always with one. Indeed she is. So you all are friends with Ren, are you? Oh, I do love coincidences. They never fail to liven up my day. So then you're saying you know her as well? Indeed, she's staying with an acquaintance of mine. A real stubborn old cook who runs his own workshop. I don't believe she's his actual grandchild, but he certainly loves her as if she was. Anyway, that little girl is a pure genius. I'm lucky she's a regular of mine. Sheesh, I just remembered I still need to negotiate with that crazy old cook. I can't imagine what sort of tomfoolery he expects me to put up with this time. What in the world is she talking about? So the Rosenberg craftsman is a bit of an eccentric? Yeah, Lloyd wants to go home. Ah. Oh, wait, isn't that... Oh, thank goodness. I was just starting to wonder if I came to the wrong place. Ernest? Did you come to see me? Yes, I did. I had business to attend to at the office, so I decided to stop by. Elie? What's wrong? You don't look too great. Well, if I remember correctly, you guys were visiting Archon Ciel earlier today, right? Did you run into some sort of problem with your police work? Well, sort of. It's not anything major, but someone in the troop requested our help and we went to report what we found, that's all. You know, I wasn't sure if I should stop by here today or not, but I'm sure now that it was the right decision. What do you mean? Allow me to be honest with you. Elie, I want you to quit the force and return to us. Quit the force? What? Oh there, buddy. That came out of left field. I get the impression this does not stem from feelings of love, at least. I know it was your idea to join the CPD, Elie. But seeing you now, you look so worn down, so lost. Are you sure this is really the right path for you? What are you saying, Ernest? Listen to me. I know you understand the current political climate and the despair that comes with it better than anyone. And that's likely where your initial urge to join the police originated from. But just try to think about the torment and pain the mayor is going through, how he feels in the current situation. With the anniversary festival coming up next month, Mayor McDowell is up to his neck in work. After that, it's right back to arguing the Imperial and Republican factions over the budget. And in 6 months, he'll be up for re-election. And I'm sure you know Mayor McDowell has planned to retire, but without someone to carry on his politics, he feels like he can't. I'm sure that if you were by his side, he'd feel much more confident of being able to keep going with his work. I'm sorry, perhaps I'm overstepping. However, I can't ignore the issue any longer. As someone who respects Mayor McDowell and has been with your family for years, I cannot stand idle any longer. Of course, the path you ultimately choose to follow is entirely up to you. I just want you to stop and think hard about whether the path you're on now is the right one. I'm going to need some time. Excuse me, everyone. I'm tired, so I'm going to rest in my room for now. Sure. My apologies for suddenly showing up out of the blue like this. It's, okay, it seems to be a pretty complicated family matter. Just try not to bother Mademoiselle for a while, you got it? Seconded. Personally, I feel like you're attempting to take Elie away from us. I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention. However, you are aware she originally wanted to become a politician before joining the police, aren't you? You're pulling my leg. That would explain her seemingly boundless knowledge of politics and economics. As a granddaughter of the current mayor, she grew up surrounded by politics. It was only natural for her to want to pursue a career in it. To that end, she studied abroad in a number of different nations to hone her skills for international relations and learning foreign policies. However, when she returned home last year, she was dead set on joining the CPD. So that's what happened. I was unaware. I did always wonder why a fancy lady like herself was working for the CPD. Would you keep an eye on her until she makes her decision? I can't bear to see her flounder about like this, unsure of a path in life she should take. Goodness, it's already gotten so late. I'm sorry for taking up so much of your time. I get out of your hair now. Okay then. There certainly has been a great deal to sigh about today. Sure, as we got put through so much shit. Definitely one of those days that just kicks you in the nuts over and over. Yeah, I know what you mean. Anyway, let's report back to the chief and call it a day. Huh, so that's where things stand. Well, you're gonna tuck your tails between your legs and go up here? You're saying we have a choice? The First Division took over the case. There's no way we can oppose them, given our team's position in the force. Yeah, I guess not. Fox will track you down and give you his longest bitching session yet. Probably. Could you not simply offer our assistance to the First Division? I know how well that would play out, considering the shit we got from that glass-wearing dick. Yeah, that is also a long shot. The CB is real fuzzy when it comes to jurisdiction. Makes cooperation between the parts not a real pain in the ass. That goes double for the First Division. No way a group of elite like them would accept help from a group of rookies like the SSS. But if you're talking about working incognito, That's another topic altogether. Sir? This is the Special Support Section, the most unconventional department on the force. Sure, HQ tends to ignore us, but it gives you guys a certain level of discretion you can use to your advantage. Basically, long as you stay quiet about it, you can poke your noses into other departments' jurisdictions without sending them into a tizzy. You do realize you just said we can ignore our superiors' orders, right? What a bad influence. It's like I told you before. I might not be able to help you in the field, but I cover your asses when I can. In the end, you guys will need to be the ones who take action, though. That being said, your current situation might make this plan impossible to pull off. One of you is struggling to figure out what to do. And this is something you can only overcome by operating as a team. You're right, but... yeah, it's hard to get fired up without Mademoiselle with us. Well, she's acting as like her head was somewhere else entirely. She's been like that all day from what I could tell. Is Elie going to be alright? Elie, over these past 2 months, I thought we'd become pretty close. But it seems like I never really understood the important things she was dealing with. I had no idea she was Mayor McDowell's granddaughter and an aspiring politician on top of it. If I recall correctly, you didn't attend police academy, right, Elie? How did you end up with a CPD? Well, to put it simply, it's my way of getting some real-world experience. While I didn't attend the academy, I did take a written exam and marksmanship test when I applied. They couldn't really reject me, since I received perfect marks on both tests. You know, the more I learn, the more I feel we're worlds apart. Do you think so? It's pretty rare for rookies to have already earned their detective license, though. You must have your own reasons for joining the CPD, right, Lloyd? Well, that's... Perhaps it would be best to continue this talk after we officially become co-workers. Alright. I'll go see if Ellie is up for a chat. If she's worried about something, maybe I can help, somehow. And maybe we can continue this conversation we started. What you up to, Lloyd? Going out on town? Well, not exactly. It's about Mademoiselle then, huh? Well, I can't blame you for being worried. Seems like she got a lot on her mind right now. Not sure if it's the kind of stuff we should really be butting into, though. Yeah, that might be true. But still, if something's on her mind, I want her to know she can rely on us. Trust me, I don't want to see her down the dumps either. I'm just not sure we really should be butting into her personal issues at all. The chief. Oh, it's you. Why the long face? How about you toss that scowl away before you come in here? Sorry about that. Still working, Chief? The SSS, unconventional as it may be, is still part of the CBD, so that means paperwork. If you don't have any pressing issues, kid, could you leave me to this? I'd like to get all this finished before daybreak, you know? Right, sorry for the interruption. Oh, were you busy reading something, Theo? Yes, I was halfway through the science journal, actually. Lloyd? I know, you're worried about Elie too, aren't you? I was just thinking about going to talk to her. Is that so? If that's the case, I will let you handle it, Lloyd. After all, dealing with these kinds of issues does not fall into my area of expertise. Initially, I believed it might be more appropriate for another girl to handle this issue, but this field is not precisely my forte. Here goes nothing. Elie, do you have a minute? No reply? Is she asleep? No. I don't sense anyone inside. Elie, sorry, I'm coming in. Just as I thought, she's not here. Where could she have gone? I try looking around the building. On the roof. Hey Elie, how do you know it was me? Just a hunch. I don't know why, but I had a feeling you'd come here. Guess you were right. Breathtaking as always. Isn't that the IBC in the distance? That one? Yes, it is. I doubt you'd find a cityscape as beautiful as Crossbills even if you scoured the entire continent. Yet, the more the lights of a city shine, the more the stars seem to dim. The purity of starlight, the symbol of Adius' love. I was thinking over everything that happened today. With LoH, Heyu and Dudley. No matter what you do, you can't change Crossbill's true nature. LoH's iron grip is here to stay. I'm merely referring to them as our fellow business competitors. Here in Crossbill, free trade is protected by law after all. Do you take offense with that, officers? We are charged with maintaining a certain degree of order in a city where justice is a constant uphill battle. We are expected to suppress major crimes and protect the public from criminal organizations and foreign intelligence agencies. Can you possibly fathom the work that goes into that? That was the darkness of a city, the tragic truth of a state called Crossbill. We are kept alive only by the will of the Empire and the Republic, stripped of all pride in that constant lies and deception. We are drowning in false prosperity and novelties only because our captors allow it. Everyone just surrenders to these circumstances and accepts the status quo without realizing its true cost. That's the city we live in. Maybe you're right. But you don't want to surrender just yet, do you, Elie? I once had a mother and a father. Oh, I suppose putting it like that makes it sound like they passed away. They're still very much alive. What I mean is to say, they divorced when I was little. My mother lives in the Empire now, and my father in the Republic. I had no idea. My father was born and raised in the Republic. He moved to Crossbill City, met my mother, and after marrying into the McDowell family, he strove to become a politician. Immediately after he joined the Diet, he recognized Crossbill's ugly, distorted reality. As someone with a strong sense of justice, he made it his duty to mend this broken city. Year after year, he drafted reform bills, all in the hopes of bringing change to the state. That's amazing. No, in the end, none of his bills were ever passed. The Imperial and Republican factions both shunned him, ridiculed him. One by one, his allies betrayed him, friends left him, and he became the laughingstock of a political world. Not even my grandfather, as well respected as he is for being neutral, was able to mend his career. Crossbell brought my father to utter despair. And then, one day, he quit as a Diet member, as a husband, and as a father. He decided to leave everything behind for Calvert. Mother couldn't stop him. And at the same time, she couldn't uproot me, still a small child, to follow him all the way there. Eventually, they settled on a divorce, and my father was gone for good. It always seemed like Mother hated him for what he did, but I got the impression that underneath it all, she still loved him. It soon became apparent that living in Crossbell, the state that robbed her of her love, would be too much to bear. My mother left to go live with relatives in Erebonia. It was then that I was taken in by grandfather, who raised me to the person I am today. That was the reason I was drawn to following him down the path of politics. It wasn't due to any desire to avenge my father or anything like that. I just couldn't understand it. How could a family so happy and loving end up falling apart so completely? After I made my decision, grandfather began to help me. I studied abroad, all over the continent, focusing on politics and economics. However, the more I studied, the more I realized how complicated of a quagmire Crossbell's situation truly was. Caught between the Empire and the Republic, our justice, our interests are pulled apart by the gravity of their immense power, and tangled with their own distorted beyond all recognition. It was there I hit a wall, an insurmountable barrier in my way. A barrier. The same one my father faced, and one I'm sure my grandfather faces as well. Do you know who represents the government of Crossbell State, Lloyd? Isn't it Mayor McDowell? Well, yes, but he's not the only one. It's actually both the Crossbell City Mayor and the Speaker of the Diet. Grandfather and the Imperial faction's Speaker Hartmann jointly represent our government. That's how we operate according to state law. Sounds like I should have studied a bit more. But wait, why did Crossbell adopt such a divided system in the first place? It's obvious, isn't it? If two representatives from opposite factions have equal authority, they can hinder things for each other, making political reform nearly impossible. No way. But now that you mention it, it does make sense. With two people on top, one side can easily sabotage the other if they try to push some sort of reform through. The fact that this happens is a tragic inevitability, given Crossbell's founding. 70 years ago, Crossbell State was born from a mutual agreement between Erebonia and Calvert. In fact, the state's founders were themselves Imperial and Republican lawyers. Seeing the current state of Crossbell, I can't help but think of it as a curse. I was at a loss. If I were to continue into this world of politics, that same curse would grab me by the neck and drag me under, just like my father. That's why I decided on a new approach, one my family hadn't yet tried. And that was with CPD? Yes, from there I told myself I could see Crossbell's twisted reality firsthand, without looking through the muddled lens of politics. I convinced myself that the experiences I gained here would one day be my secret weapon when I finally joined Crossbell's political world. The reform that my father failed to achieve and grandfather was unable to pursue. I thought this new perspective would be the key to finally making it a reality. Maybe. But perhaps I was just lying to myself. Perhaps I was just running away. Everything that happened today, I knew it was likely I'd encounter those issues. But still, the reality of things was even colder and crueler than I had imagined. And confronted with it, I was at a loss. Maybe I'm incapable of doing anything on my own after all. Maybe I'm just a broken little girl abandoned by her mother and father. So what? You try way too hard to be perfect, Elie. I can't afford to fail. I need to take care of everything myself. Shoulder every responsibility. That's the way you've been thinking, isn't it? That's not... Today was probably our roughest day yet. Being ridiculed, having to hear that all of our efforts are in vain. But thinking about it, aren't those the things we signed up for when we joined the SSS? Remember, Elie, there may be barriers we can't get over today, but that doesn't mean we won't be able to get over them tomorrow. Tomorrow. Right now, the barrier that stands before us is the threat letter case. And even though the First Division has taken it over, I say we continue investigating independently from them. What? But is there even anything else we can do at this point? Sure, the First Division may be great at what they do. But even so, it's obvious they are stuck in a corpse mindset, only adhering to traditional logic. Maybe a new perspective is exactly what's needed to crack this case. At least, that's how I feel about things. Just like how you joined the CPD to gain a new perspective on Crossbow, right? If you're somehow able to solve this case, then... I'm sure that means your goal isn't out of reach either. Of course, I shouldn't really compare our investigation to Crossbow's underlying issues. But what we need right now is the experience of overcoming these kinds of obstacles. If we keep clearing the small barriers, one by one, then someday we'll have the power to get over the big ones too. In these 2 months we've been together, I've come to realize something. You have your own troubles you're working to overcome, don't you? So, how are you able to stay so optimistic? Well, let's see. Maybe it's because I have someone I'm trying to catch up to. Though that in itself may be a problem. I think I understand. But I'm not as strong as you are. I'm just so tired of it all. I didn't come up here with the intention of talking so much about my past. But I just couldn't keep it bottled up anymore. At this rate, I'm only going to drag the team down. And if that's the case, I should probably... Elie. We need you, Elie. Your profound knowledge, your negotiation skills, your sharpshooting, your sense of justice. If we're going to stand up to the city, we're going to need you. But... that's not it though. While all of it is true, my point is this. I'd be happy if you decided to stay by my side, Elie. What? We were a bit of a mess at the start, but I feel like we've really started to become a team over these past 2 months. Even when we're bombarded with the stress of daily life, we make time for the small things, like deciding whose turn it is to cook. We've all come to trust in everyone's individual strengths. It's not every day you find teammates like that. Well, we may still be rookies, sure. It's too early for us to be able to tackle every problem by ourselves. But it's too early for us to give in and despair and give up trying to fix things. We'll tackle each day head on, do whatever we can, and keep relentlessly confronting the status quo. And if that somehow fails, we just come up with a new plan. Together. You, me, Randy, and Theo. And despite the way he acts, the chief is always doing everything he can to support us from the side. Heck, even Sight has our backs now. So don't forget, Elie, you're not alone. You're absolutely right. I'm not alone. How could I have forgotten something so important? Thank you, Lloyd. Even though it won't be easy to solve all my problems, I do feel a little better now. Glad to hear it. Still, apart from the lines that sounded like they came straight out of a teen drama, I was a bit surprised. I'm painfully aware of how cheesy we were, okay? But what do you mean by surprised, Elie? Because, well... talking about how I'm needed and telling me that you want me by your side? I thought you were confessing your love to me. Confessing? Wait, that's not what I meant at all! Oh? So you're saying I'm not good enough then? You know that's not it. Oh, come on, you're just teasing me now, aren't you? Just a little payback. But you really should be more careful, Lloyd. You might not realize you're doing it, but you really have a potential to be a serious womanizer. Hey, hold on a second. I understand if you're talking about Randy, but why me? The fact that you don't even know you're doing it makes it all the worse. Good grief, Lloyd. I can't believe just hearing those words made my heart start beating so fast. Huh? What was that? Nothing. But anyway, I'm sorry I wasn't there when you reported to the chief. But did you guys come up with a plan for how to continue our investigation? No, not yet. Right now the case hinges on figuring out what Yin hopes to accomplish. Tomorrow we can ask around and see if we can find some sort of lead. Sounds good. Thanks to you, I have a feeling that I'll be sleeping soundly tonight. How about we hold a meeting tomorrow morning after we get some much needed rest? Sounds like a plan. Elie learned Star Blast 2. By spending 100 CP each, a powerful combination attack can be unleashed. Why is it Star Blast 2? That concludes this week's report. The warhounds we've trained may prove troublesome. If Master Yin were available, he would easily compensate for a lack of force. Very well. We shall continue with our current operating protocols within the city. In addition, we call half of our personnel currently dispatched to Altair. Understood. I shall take my leave, Master Zhao. Have a pleasant evening. Yes, yes, to you as well. How troublesome. I'd rather not have to request the Elder's assistance. Such help would come with a heavy debt. If only Master Yin were more cooperative, our plans would be proceeding splendidly. Why not? I plan to uphold my end of the bargain. It surprises me that you were... It shouldn't surprise me that you were eavesdropping. Dear me, I fear I may have made a few slips of the tongue. Please, we both know you said exactly as much as you wanted me to hear. Just as cunning as ever. Me? Oh goodness no, I'm no match for you. So to what do I owe this visit? Are you perhaps in the mood to call some warrants for us? Your subordinates are more than capable enough to handle that matter. My role is to take care of LoH's main force, beginning with that man, Garcia. That was what you hired me for, was it not? Oh dear, you truly are no fun. It's come to my attention that you've become entangled with Archon Seal for some odd reason. I'll let you know that CBD is quite good at their jobs, so don't do anything that will bring us trouble. Do I make myself clear? No need to worry. More importantly, what is your impression of a special support section? Oh, so that's what you've come here for? Let's see, they're an intriguing combination of young people. The leader, Lloyd, most of all. He's perfectly aware of his weakness, yet he continues to push forward with determination. He seems to have a strong intuition as well. And to be honest, I quite like people like him. I was not asking you about your tastes. What about the other members? Again, each of them proves to be quite intriguing in their own way. Mayor McDowell's granddaughter possesses a keen sense of diplomacy and operates as a team administrator. For the girl from the Epstein Foundation, while her orbital staff itself is fascinating, I suspect she has some special qualities of her own. Last we have our red-headed fellow. She has a certain air about him, one not dissimilar to our own. Intriguing indeed. I must ask, why have you taken such great interest in them? I simply wish to put them to a little test. I was curious to find out if they were worthy of taking on a request from Yin. Oh, a request?